We're continuing our look at the strategic planning process, and we're continuing our discussion where you are the management at Tim Hortons doing the strategic planning. So in our previous videos, we evaluated the current performance of Tim Hortons. We conducted an environmental scan. We talked about projecting future trends. What we're looking at in this video and the next is using SWOT to determine changes in competitiveness for our organization. So we conducted an environmental scan by doing PESTLE. You saw that in a previous video. And we're looking at our strengths and weaknesses as we looked at Porter's 5 forces. Before we dive into the SWOT itself, we're going to do one more type of analysis here, and this is a BCG matrix or a growth share matrix. It's called a BCG because it was created by the Boston Consulting Group. And the BCG matrix or the growth share matrix analyzes the product mix as part of the strategic planning process. So the idea here is that if we want to gain market share, we need to have a competitive product mix. So we need to look at what is it we make or do. And with the growth share matrix, we look at what is making us money now versus what is likely to make us money in the future. So we want to look at the potential to generate cash, and we look at what has the best opportunity to give us a strong market position in the future, as well as what is doing well right now. So in a BCG matrix or a growth share matrix, we have market share. Okay, so in terms of the percentage of customers that we have compared to the competition, is it higher or lower? In other words, is this a product that is making us money because we are selling it to lots of customers? And then we look on the other axes at growth opportunities. So what is possible to gain us market share in the future, to make us money in the future? So what is bringing customers right now, and what is likely to bring in new or returning customers in the future? And so we categorize the products as one of 4. So we have what are the cash cows. Cash cows are things that are making us good money now. They bring in a lot of customers. We have high market share. And we expect that, really we're just going to stay there, our bread and butter. And we're just going to keep milking those cash cows. They'll bring us money in the future, but they're not necessarily going to lead to more growth in terms of more customers. But they're going to still be ones that are going to continue to make us money. So we want to take advantage of those cash cows as long as we have them. We also have products that are dogs. That is, they don't bring in a lot of customers now, and they're not going to bring in a lot of customers in the future. So these are the pet projects that we keep around, but they're not making us any money, and they're not going to help in terms of future growth. So we need to divest from the dogs if we can. We probably keep some of those around for other strategic purposes. We'll talk about that in a moment. But for the most part, if something is a dog, it's not making money now, it's not going to make money in the future, we probably should just let it go. Then we have those that are the all-stars. These are the things we want to invest in. They are making us a lot of money right now, and they will lead to growth opportunities in the future. Then we have products where they don't make us a lot of money right now. They have low market share, but they have an opportunity to lead to future growth. So if we're doing a BCG matrix for Tim Hortons, think about Tim Hortons products, from coffee to bottled drinks, to donuts, to Timbits, to the rice bowls, to the wraps, to the sandwiches, to the soups, all of those things. Where would you put them in these different categories? So the cash cow is probably the coffee, right? So double, tried and true, is not going to lead to a lot of future growth for Tim Hortons. But everybody goes to Tim Hortons now for the double. So it's the cash cow. It's high market share. People go to Tim Hortons for the coffee. But it's not going to lead to huge amounts of growth in the future. All right, what's an all-star? What's something that has high market share and can lead to growth in the future? Well, if we think about things like Timbits, okay, so Timbits sell well. Everyone likes to bring a pack of Timbits to an event. So they do well now. And then we think about things like, what were they, Timbiebs? These were Timbits that Justin Bieber had designed or had his name attached to them. And then, of course, people were flocking into Tim Hortons to try out the new Timbiebs. So here, this could be a star we want to invest in. So something that people come in for now and would lead more people to try Tim Hortons, to come in for the unique flavors of Timbits that we didn't have before. What might be more dogs? So things that are low market share. Well, Tim Hortons does sell things that don't move a lot. We can look at soup. We can look at bottled tea. These are things that don't turn over very quickly within the company. We don't have people pounding on our doors to buy these things, and they're unlikely to bring in lots more people in the future. So if we think about bottled teas at Tim Hortons, if you're Tim Hortons, it's probably not a good idea to invest a bunch of time or market research or money into expanding the line of bottled teas. They're just not going to bring people in the door. They're not going to make you a lot of money. And then we have the question marks. So these are the new innovative ideas that currently aren't selling, but could. So Tim Hortons, of course, is banking on things like rice bowls. Not currently a big seller, but they're hoping that it will be a growth opportunity to get more people to consider Tim Hortons. So you don't drink coffee, you think donuts are unhealthy. Well, if we can get you to come in for the rice bowl, then you're a new customer, and that adds to the growth opportunities. So we do see companies exploring those question marks, trying out new things, right? In terms of Subway selling pizza, Tim Hortons selling rice bowls, trying to expand into new markets, trying to offer something unique and different, which will provide for future growth. There is a website, you can check this out as you're creating your BCG Matrix. This one here called eDraw Mind just wants to show you a couple of examples of a BCG Matrix. And so here is what someone has done in terms of Coca-Cola products. Notice their labeling order is a little bit different. They got cash cow at the bottom left. But cash cow for Coca-Cola is definitely brand name Coke, right? And a bit more of a dog, Diet Coke. So there are some items where they are dogs at Tim Hortons, at Coca-Cola. We keep them around because you are catering towards a family, a group of people. And while most people, so for example, you bring your family to Tim Hortons, the adults are going to drink coffee, but you have a kid with you. So they need some apple juice. So it's not going to make you money, and it's not going to create new customers, but it's something you keep around because that parent's not going to come unless you have something for their kid as well. So sometimes those dogs we keep around for that reason, but we are not going to invest a ton of money in them because we know they're not going to lead towards future growth opportunities. Here's one someone did for Samsung. So the cash cow here is appliances. Their all-stars would be their TVs, and then they're putting in the dogs the smartwatch. People are going to buy Apple Watches. They're going to buy Google Watches. And Samsung's not going to really, their smartwatch doesn't do as much as the other ones that are tied into full ecosystems. And so perhaps this is something that they should just divest from. So you can check this out. This is edrawmind.com. Best 10 BCG Matrix examples. Someone has one for L'Oreal, PepsiCo, Apple. So you can see how they've taken the different products and they have marked the different positions on the matrix. So the idea here, as we're doing our strategic planning, is we need to recognize what is making us the money, what is providing the growth opportunities, and what are things that are kind of holding us back that we might need to move away from. as we set our strategy for our organization and the steps to get there.